I'm obsessed with this look. Like, who am I? Who am I right now? I look nothing like that girl that started this tutorial, let me tell you. Hello and welcome to my channel. This video has just been a bit of a palaver. I have already filmed this video, started editing, and then I was like, nah. I created the same look as I've done now, but I just missed a step and it really changed the whole look. I didn't use a glitter fixer gel, and I have in this video. Made a huge difference. Didn't even say what we're doing today, even though obviously you know what I'm doing today because of the title, but I just like to explain it, you know? I like to explain it a bit for you in the beginning. We are, haven't even got it ready, have I? We are kind of reviewing slash using the Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette, and in this video I'm going to be using the warm half of it. If you can see here, sorry it's a bit awkward with the mirror, but it's split into two, and this is more of cool tones and this is more of the warm tones, and in this video we are going to be using the warm tones, as you can see, and I will be uploading a video very soon of me creating a look using the cool toned side of this palette. So if you would like to see how I created this warm toned look, make sure to keep on watching, but are you subscribed? Because if you're not, then how are you ever going to see the other half of this video? Are you going to search it again? I'm telling you, you will not remember. So hit that subscribe button, because this half could be amazing. The other half could completely fall apart in my hands and you wouldn't know. And you could go out and buy this and then be like, hang on a minute, the other side isn't that great. And then you'll be like, ah, I didn't press subscribe and I should have. I feel like both sides are going to be amazing because, let's be honest, it's Urban Decay. But now you've done that, if you're feeling extra fancy, extra sassy, extra team beauty, then hit the thumbs up button down below, because what you got to lose? Got nothing to lose, and it will help me out a lot. So thank you. Now you've done that, we will get into the video. As always, I'm going to prime my eyes, and I'm going to be using what is kind of the only thing I'm using at the moment, and it is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I'm going to put that all over the lid. Once I've put my concealer over my eyes as a primer, I'm going to get my Real Techniques damp beauty sponge, and I'm just going to go over that just to kind of push the concealer into the skin and get rid of the top sticky layer, really. The palette that I'm going to use alongside the Heavy Metals palette today is going to be the Barry M Fall in Love palette, and I'm going to be using the kind of white shade here to set my eyes. Before I get into any shades, I want to go over how I feel about them and the colours, the swatches and things like that. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the packaging, and it is incredible, absolutely incredible. Urban Decay just absolutely smash it with their packaging. Their Naked palettes are a bit more understated compared to their other ones. I still love them, but all their other palettes always have amazing packaging, and this I think is the best packaging I've ever seen so far from a palette, and completely unique, I think, because I've not seen a palette before where you press the side and then the palette completely comes out of like the outer shell. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I love that this is a all metallic palette, because now I've got a collection of matte palettes and matte eyeshadows. It's nice to have a palette like this that I can use alongside my shadows I've already got, instead of getting the same old transition shades. I'm over that. Now I'm ready for the bold ones to come out that I can use alongside it, and I think that's what brands are starting to do now. This is split into two sections. I was a bit skeptical because I was thinking this is going to be really awkward to use with the mirror, but actually when I've used it on myself, it is really handy having the mirror like that, because if you're using this mirror to blend out your eyeshadow and things like that, you can then look at the colours on the side, so you can kind of look back and forth and see what complements the shadows you've already put on and what ones will go well with it, and it's nice to keep everything together. colour. The shadows are split into two halves. One half is very much a warm toned side and the other half is a cool toned side. This video is going to be using the warm tones. One of my favourite eyeshadow palettes of all time is the Naked Heat palette. These will literally just slot in perfectly with the shadows in that palette. Swatching these, they were incredible as well. There was a little bit of fallout, which when you're using shadows like this, metallic, like foiled shadows, you're gonna really get that anyway, and I don't think I've used really pigmented metallic eyeshadows that haven't had fallout. So if there are any, please let me know, but I kind of expected that anyway before I even touched them. That doesn't really bother me, and also, as you probably know from majority of my videos now, I start my eyes first before I put any foundation or any base down, so then if there is any fallout on my face, I can wipe it away and then do my foundation. I did try and film this video once already, and I used them on their own, and they came out really subtle, and that would be perfect for probably a lot of people, but for me, I love really bold looks, so that's why I'm refilming this video, because I thought if I use these with a glitter fixer gel like I did with the Too Faced chocolate gold palette for their metallics, I think it will come out a lot stronger like that look did. If you did want some metallic shades and for them not to be too bold and bright, then do not shy away from this palette, because you can make them look really subtle and natural. But I want this to be blinding. I want it to be that I'm in a dark room and you can still see my eyeshadow. That is like my look. That is my aim for every day. Let's get into my swatches and just the names of the shadows in general, because what I really love about Urban Decay is they give all of their eyeshadows names. The Barry M Fall in Love palette, I'm going to be using this alongside, and they haven't got any names for their shadows. I just like that touch of a name. Also, it's much easier for me when I'm doing tutorials. The creativity that goes into the names of them, I just love. We're going to start with Acoustic. I don't even know how to describe this colour. It's like a taupey colour, metallic taupey colour. I hope that makes sense, but you can see it in the video. I'm just rubbish with describing words when it comes to colours. And we have Maiden, what is very much a rose gold. Then we have Angel Fire, which is this kind of white pinky pearlescent colour, which is gorgeous. Then we have one of my absolute favourites on here, and that is Starfire. It's like this pure orange bronze metallic copper. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I want to use that today as like a main focus in the eyeshadow that I'm going to do. Then we have Glory, which is basically a pure gold. It's a pure like yellow gold. Scream, and it is this gorgeous baby pink glitter. Obviously they're all glitter, they're all metallics, but it's this gorgeous baby pink that has like a silver reflect to it. Then we have, there's like 4 shades in this palette that my eye was drawn to, and I was like, I need to use them now. This was one of them, and this is called Rhodey, and it's like a mauve or a mauve. I never know how you say that because people always say it differently. Then we have the first one my eye went to, and that is called After Party, and it's this really deep metallic red, and you never really get a red eyeshadow in eyeshadow palettes, and recently with all the warm tones you're starting to get more of a red come out in eyeshadow palettes, what I'm absolutely loving. But I remember a time where if you wanted to wear a red on your eye, you would have to get a blusher and use that as an eyeshadow. So I'm really glad that they're starting to come out into eyeshadow palettes. And then we have Demo. Basically it's like a metallic brown. Then we have Base, what I feel like you couldn't really see this that much on the swatch video if I can remember, but this again is like brown shadow with a gold reflect in it, so it's a bit bronzy compared to like a normal gold, but it's basically a brown undertone with a gold shimmer on top of it. All of these have an absolute gorgeous reflect to them and swatched amazingly, so I cannot wait to get these on the eye. So as I have already put my eyeshadow base on and I've set it, now let's get into the makeup look. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be using the Barry M Fall in Love palette alongside this, as I like to use metallics as like a statement and not really as like a transition colour and things like that, because I feel like too many different metallics on top of each other, it gets really muddy, whereas mattes it doesn't so much. So I'm going to be using this Barry M palette because it has a lot of warm tones in it and they're all matte shades, so I thought it would be perfect for this look. So to start off with, I'm going to be using this brown, the e.l.f. Cosmetics blending brush. It's basically just a kind of oversized fluffy brush. I'm going to be putting that brown into my crease as my transition shade. Next, I'm going to be using the warmer brown in that palette, but I'm going to be using a smaller fluffy brush for this, and this is the e.l.f. crease brush, and I'm going to be putting that warmer shade more into the crease to contour. Now I'm going to use my MAC 227 brush. It's just this really big fluffy brush that I use to blend out the edges just that little bit more. I'm going to go in with the red eyeshadow and put that into the crease, making it kind of go darker and darker. Again, I'm going to use my MAC brush to blend the outsides. This is where it gets interesting, and I'm going to go into the Heavy Metals palette, the reason why we're here. I'm going to use my Barium Glitter Fixer Gel for this tutorial, like I did in my Too Faced one. If you have this yourself, what I recommend is not putting this on your eye and squeezing it out, because a lot of product comes out of this. So sometimes if you kind of dispense some of the product onto your hand or onto a side, but still you can use this because this is really good for applying. So I'm going to get some fixer gel, and I'm going to be doing a spotlight eye today. Pretty sure that's what it's called. Now I always doubt myself when I say it in a video. It's when you have a kind of lighter colour in the middle and then darker on the outside and then dark going in the end. So it goes dark, light, dark. But this I want to be really rich in kind of reds and oranges, so hopefully it comes out well. You would have seen it anyway, you would have seen it. I have the tiniest bit on the end of this applicator of the gel, and I'm going to just tap it on the outer corner. And then from the Heavy Metals palette, I'm going to go in with After Party, which is that metallic red. And I've got it on a tiny kind of like precision brush. It's the MAC 194 brush. And I'm just going to tap over that gel. If you haven't done your foundation like me, then it does not matter if there's much fallout, because we'll be tidying that up later. Now I'm going to put some fixing gel on the inner corner of my eye. I'm going to put the same colour down After Party. Now I'm going to put the second colour in there, but I'm going to be using 3, so I'm not going to cover that whole gap with this colour. I'm still going to have a gap in the middle, just a small little one. And the next colour I'm going to be using is Starfire, and that is that warm copper colour. I'm basically just going to put that, again, on the outer corner, but just next to that red. But remember, we're not going to cover up that whole clear gap yet. So I'm going to do the outsides first and then the inside, just like I did before. Now I'm going to put the Starfire colour on the inner corner on the other side of where I put the red. Now I've done that, it's time for the final colour. What I've been doing, which I forgot to mention, is I'm still using the same tiny kind of precise brush, but I have a makeup wipe here. It's really dirty now, but I've been kind of wiping off the shade that I used before when I changed colours on the makeup wipe, so I could still use the same brush. The next colour I'm going to be using is Maiden, and that's that rose goldy colour, and I'm going to be putting that in the centre. If you see, there's only really a tiny little gap left, but that's what we're going for. Again, going to get some of that gel, exactly what we've been doing, and just kind of run it up all in that gap. Also, when I have been applying these colours, because I don't want it to be straight lines of colour down my lid, I do want them to look like they've blended and got lighter. So I've been going over the other colour just a little bit so it does merge nicely. And I am done, and I'm so happy with how these have turned out. This is how I wanted it to turn out the first time, so I'm so excited that it did work. So if you do want it to be really bold and bright and shimmery, then I really do recommend using a glitter fixing gel. Now I've got I need a new makeup wipe. This is just dirty. It may look really sunny and nice today, but trust me, it's -1 outside. It's going to be snowing all week. Like, what is going on? I don't understand. Like, yesterday I woke up and it was sunny all day yesterday, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's such a nice day. Went outside, nearly died of frostbite. Like, England weather is just unpredictable. Just first, before I put foundation on, I'm going to wipe my face with a makeup wipe to get off any fallout on my face. And now I'm going to go and do my foundation and eyebrows. I'm going to do this off camera because this video is long enough already. If you do want to follow my foundation routine, I will link that up here. You'll see a banner fly across, and if you just click on that, and my foundation routine will be there. If not, just go onto my channel and go on my videos, and it's quite recent, and then come back to this video to finish this look. But I will be right back. So my foundation and eyebrows are done, so I'm going to finish the eyes. And I don't know what I want to do. I'm going to be honest, I'm completely freestyling here. I have no idea what I want to do next. No, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get that Fall in Love palette and use that red eyeshadow and basically just line the bottom lash line with it. If you did want to use a pencil for this, Marc Jacobs have a really nice red eyeliner pencil. I remember the shade was called Fine Wine, and I think that's what I'm going to go for on the bottom lash line because we've got a party up here and I don't want to distract you from the party. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes as my mascara. For eyelashes, I'm going to be using the Salon System Natural Lash in 201. So we have finished the eyes and I'm loving them so much. Is that stuck down? I feel like the second lashes go on, everything just comes together and it just makes everything perfect. So for lipstick, I know what I'm going to use today, weirdly. Normally I'm spending half an hour deciding, but I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Walk of Shame. Yeah, Walk of Shame lipstick because I always go for nude, so I want to just darken this red lip up a little bit. So I'm going to be using the Primark Instagirl lip liner. I'm pretty sure this is Obsession, so I'm just going to darken the outer corners of my lips up a little bit. I love this colour so much, really love this colour. My hair's gone flat already, like what is going on? What is going on? So this is the final look and I'm so happy that I refilmed this and I used glitter fixer gel because it came out the way I expected it to and the way I wanted it to. This is a drugstore one, so you can pick it up at your drugstore, but there are loads out there so you can have a look. But I absolutely love it, but I also do like the fact that you can have them quite subtly as well. The pigment in these are incredible from swatching and using them with the fixer gel. I didn't find any fallout really at all when I was wiping my face. I don't know if that's because I used fixer gel. There isn't much kickback in the pan either. It should last you a long time. They are so creamy. They're so creamy. I'm just now excited to film the other half of this palette, and that'll be the cool tones and the cool tone side, because I started off with the warm tones because that's my comfort zone, colours that I work with all the time and I know how to work with them. Whereas cool tones and blues and purples can be a bit difficult sometimes. Well, not difficult, but they're just something I'm not used to, so that video will be very interesting. So make sure you check that out once I've uploaded it, just so you then get to see both sides of this palette. If you like this video, please let me know by pressing the thumbs up button down below, and if you want to see how I used the cooler toned side of this palette, then make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on that video, and also press the notification bell if you want to get a notification when that video goes up, as well as any of my other videos. My Instagram page is at brooke.ellis_, so make sure you're following that, and you can slide in to my DMs if you want to have a chat about the palette or anything really. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! I am loving this look.